60 years married. People called it gold, solid. We nearly smashed it to dust. Not from some grand betrayal, but from 5 silent, insidious mistakes. Mistakes we made, mistakes that almost gutted everything we'd built, right up until our twilight years. I've walked that edge, felt that cold dread creep in, the kind that whispers your greatest fears into the quiet of the night. And it's a regret that still stings, that no one warned us. We stood there, so full of hope, and nobody whispered the truth. Nobody told us what really tears a life apart, stone by stone, brick by brick. We wish someone, anyone, had just laid it all bare on our wedding day. Maybe you're feeling that same tremor in your own foundation right now, that quiet panic. You are not alone in that struggle, not even close. We felt it too, that slow, terrifying drift apart, watching the person you love become a stranger. I have to confess something. For the first 15 years of our marriage, I was keeping score. Not on paper, no, but in my head. Every chore, every late night with the kids, every time I picked up the dry cleaning, there was this quiet tally, always running, always whispering, I did more, I always do more. It was a dull ache, a slow burn of resentment I barely even acknowledged. Oh, I knew that tally, because I had my own, the mental catalogue of every dinner cooked, every birthday remembered, every load of laundry, every emotional burden carried. It was exhausting. I just wanted him to see it, to acknowledge it, to say thank you, I see you. But all I ever felt was this gnawing need for recognition that never came. We were both just silently furious, believing we were carrying the heavier load. That festering bitterness, that silent competition, it was a cancer. It nearly hollowed us out. It took a health scare for me, a really bad one, for us to finally, brutally confront it. Lying there, hooked up to machines, I looked at Denise, truly looked at her, and the scorecards just dissolved. We finally understood. Marriage isn't a fixed 50-50 transaction. It's 100-0 when one of you needs it, and then it flips. It's seasonal. It's fluid. It's about showing up fully for each other, no matter the cost, without keeping tabs. That obsession with who does more poisoned us. It's a silent killer, subtly eroding the very foundation of trust and generosity. Marriage is not a transaction. It's not a business deal where you demand equal returns for every investment. It's a covenant. It's a gift you give, freely, constantly, without expectation of immediate reciprocity. Stop keeping score. It will destroy everything you hold dear. Look, I've seen this movie play out 1,000 times, and honestly, I've had starring roles in the early reels myself. One of you is a meticulous planner, calendar color-coded, life mapped out. The other, a beautiful, chaotic whirlwind, living moment to moment. And you've spent years, maybe decades, trying to sand down those edges, haven't you? Trying to fit a vibrant, unique soul into a mold you designed. You've tried explaining it just so, thinking if only you used the right words, they'd finally get it. You've even tried the scorched earth approach, hoping anger would finally jolt them into becoming more like you. You believed if you just pushed hard enough, reasoned clearly enough, or got mad enough, they'd see the light. Here's the brutal, tender truth. You can't love someone into being someone else. You just can't. All that struggle, all that emotional labor, it leaves both of you feeling like failures, like you're constantly falling short or constantly being misunderstood. That ache you feel, it's the sound of 2 souls perfectly designed to balance each other, fighting against their own nature.
You're trying to turn a vibrant, spontaneous river into a meticulously engineered canal. You're trying to force a sturdy, rooted oak into becoming a free-floating cloud. But what if their flaws are actually the missing pieces in your own puzzle? What if their spontaneity isn't a problem, but the very spark your methodical life craves? What if your grounded nature isn't rigid, but the safe harbor their adventurous spirit needs? Stop trying to fix them. Stop trying to make them better. Start seeing them as a gift, perfectly crafted to complement your own beautiful imperfections. Because the most profound love isn't about two halves becoming one. It's about two wholes, celebrating their glorious differences and making a symphony together. I've been Harold. Oh, I've been Harold so many times it's embarrassing. The king of "it's fine," the master of "I'll just deal with it." You know the drill, right? Those tiny little annoyances. The cap left off the toothpaste, the dishes piled just for a minute, the one-sided conversations where you feel unheard. You swallow them, each one a pebble. Harmless, you think, until you realize you're carrying a whole damn quarry inside. And it's heavy. It's so heavy, and the only one who knows it. Then one day, the dam breaks. My friend Denise told me about her explosion. It was over milk. Forgot the milk, a tiny thing, but she screamed, really screamed, because it wasn't about the milk. It was about 100 other tiny moments where she felt unseen, unappreciated, unimportant. Every time she held her tongue, every frustration she smoothed over with a fake smile. It didn't vanish, it just got filed away, waiting for that one insignificant trigger to detonate a nuclear bomb of pent-up rage. And when the dust settled, the milk was still forgotten, but now so was a piece of their connection. This is the brutal truth. Silence doesn't make problems disappear. It just gives them time to fester, to harden, to become a barrier you can no longer see over. It builds a wall between you and the person you love, brick by quiet, unsaid brick. And it haunts me, that image of a relationship slowly being walled off, not by conflict, but by the absence of it, by the fear of it. So listen to me, because I've felt that burn, that regret. You have to learn to speak. Not when you're boiling over, not with accusations, but early, gently, honestly. When those little pebbles first start to form, pick them up. Show them, this bothers me, this hurts a little. It takes courage. It feels vulnerable. But speaking your truth, even when it's uncomfortable, is how you build bridges, not walls. It's how you keep the channels open, how you keep the love flowing before the silence becomes too loud to break. We talked about the walls we build with silence, but what about the walls that grow, not from conflict, but from sheer neglect, from the dangerous myth that love, once found, just runs itself? I remember Harold, 25 years into his marriage. He looked at me, weary, and said, "We became roommates, you know. We used to go on dates, talk for hours. Somewhere along the way, we just stopped. We assumed it would keep going, self-maintained." That ache in his voice, I heard it. I felt that quiet regret, too. And Denise, she described the chilling part. It was terrifying because it happened so slowly. You don't even notice. The comfort, that feeling of we're solid, it gradually morphed into complacency. That's the silent killer right there. The belief that no problems means everything is fine. Then, a few years ago, friends of mine, married 38 years, 38, and they divorced. It hit me like a physical blow, a brutal, icy truth, because if two people who built a life for almost 4 decades can just drift apart, then no one is immune. Relationships do not maintain themselves. That is a lie, a comfortable, convenient, soul-destroying lie. So listen closely. You have to redate your partner, not just dinner, but intentional connection. Put down the phone, turn off the noise, ask the real questions again. What's truly on your mind? What are you dreaming about right now? What's the one thing you're quietly afraid of? And then actually listen. Give them your undivided, hungry attention. Because that quiet assumption that we're fine, that is the deadliest illusion of all. Don't let comfort become the tomb of your love. Invest actively, and do it now. You know that feeling, right? When a disagreement with your partner isn't about finding a solution anymore. It's a fight, a battle to prove you're right, to win the argument, to make your point stick. I've been there, yelling over each other, digging my heels in, seeing their face not as the person I loved, but as an obstacle, a rival.